Over 50 years ago, an Italian man named Ferruccio, who owned a successful tractor company, wanted to buy a sports car. He bought a Ferrari and he liked it, but he had a few suggestions to make it better. The owner of that car company was Enzo Ferrari, and he told that guy to shove it. So what did that man do? Well, he built his own cars. They're called Lamborghinis. That was Ferruccio Lamborghini. Now, on the 50th anniversary of the company itself, we're standing here with one of the greatest Lamborghinis of all time. This is the Lamborghini Aventador. There's a new king at the top of the Lamborghini family tree. We've loved the Murcielago for years. Now, though, the Aventador has arrived to take its place. The Gallardo is still kicking at the bottom of the tree, but this is the biggest, baddest Lambo you can get. It looks especially sinister in this matte finish paint, which is, by the way, a $14,000 optional extra. These headlamps are gorgeous. The daytime running lights look fantastic. Coming down the side, you've got these massive wheels with the huge carbon ceramic brakes poking out behind them, wrapped in Pirelli rubber. 19-inch front, 20-inch rear. The car is so low, it barely comes up to my waist. You've got, of course, since this is a big Lamborghini, the scissor doors, which look fantastic when you're pulling up to the curb. That's a showstopper. Coming around to the back, you've got the open glass engine. This is also an optional extra, but it allows you to see the heart of the car itself. Finally, you've got these wicked looking tail lamps that mimic the design of the front, and this spoiler rises up at speed. The whole look is aggressive, angular, supercar, super amazing. So what are we dealing with here exactly? Well, that is a 6.5-liter V12 engine. It makes 700 horsepower, a little over 500 pound-feet of torque, and it can propel this rocket ship from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 2.9 seconds. That is blisteringly fast. Keep the throttle pressed and you'll be down the road to the top speed to the tune of 217 miles per hour. It's paired with what they call their ISR gearbox. It's a 7-speed gearbox where they combine marketing words like robotic and emotional. I don't know how the two fit together, but either way, put it in Corsa and it'll wrench your back in the best way possible. Another innovation here on the Aventador is the pushrod style suspension. This is essentially what you see in Formula One. It keeps the wheels planted, it keeps the car stable at speed. It also looks fantastic. A car like this, you'd think it'd be difficult getting in and out, especially with the wide side sill. At first it looks daunting, but it's not that difficult. Just slide in, and at 6'3", I'm actually pretty comfortable. There's a lot of room here, way more room than in a Gallardo. I don't even have the seat all the way back. I've got a great driving position, and I'm ready to just take a look and see what's going on the inside before we hit the road. This is every bit the fighter jet inspired cockpit that you would think it is. The cabin is tight. It's wedge-like on the outside, so in here visibility is minimal at best. Out front it's fine. Out back and to the sides it's a whole different ball game, but we've got parking sensors, we've got a rear view camera, so that helps a lot with close quarters maneuvering. But back to the look ahead, the steering wheel feels excellent in my hands. I can adjust it as much as I want. This center stack is angled perfectly for monitoring climate control and navigation and the audio system. But here, right in front of me, I've got this amazing TFT gauge. It's not an analog gauge, it's a screen like you would find in a modern jet or fighter jet or anything else that demands attention and needs visibility for the driver. It's so bright, it looks so clean, and it reacts wonderfully as you press the throttle with the engine there behind you. So what's it like to actually drive one of these things? Well, it's the closest that I'll ever get to piloting a fighter jet. It is absolutely wild. I like to put the transmission into full manual Corsa mode, which is the most aggressive shift language, and then just pop it down a gear, and then that happens. It's wild. The engine is ferocious sounding. The noise it makes is right behind your ears. It sounds so good. You just can't get enough of it. This is an Aventador drug, and I am officially addicted. Besides the power though, this thing actually handles fantastically. Yes, it's heavy, but the weight is translated very well through the big tires, the massive brakes, and the pushrod suspension. And I mean, it's heavy in terms of, you know, the average two-seater, but for supercars, it's not that heavy. Plus, it's surrounded by a carbon fiber monocoque. We're in a one-piece carbon fiber tub right now, and that part only weighs a little less than 350 pounds, which is amazing. But it makes the car structurally rigid and safe and just everything that's awesome about supercars. It's another facet about why this car is amazing. But forget all that for a second, because the car warps your brain when you press the throttle. Obviously, all of this doesn't come cheap. The base price for a Lamborghini Aventador is $401,200. I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment. $401,200. But if you're shopping in this segment, numbers don't matter. You don't go, am I gonna get the Lamborghini or the Vanquish or the 458? You're gonna go, I'm gonna get all three, and I'm gonna drive one on Friday, one on Saturday, and one on Sunday. This is a very different world. This car isn't base. Most Aventadors don't come standard. This one's closer to $450,000. That paint is $14,000. The parking sensors cost money. The engine cover costs money. It all adds up. It's not as bad as, say, pricing out a Porsche, because they nickel and dime you. Here with the Lamborghini, you're getting things that help you or make the car look better, and we can respect that. Even though, yes, it's absolutely insane that the paint is $14,000. But have you seen it? I'm essentially Bruce Wayne right now, and I'm loving every second of it. Just like you've got a choice of some optional extras, you've also got a choice of some drive modes. You start off in Strada, which is the normal mode. It traction controls at its fullest. The exhaust is a little bit quieter, and shifts are, frankly, a little bit delayed and chunky. Pop it into Sport, traction control relax a little bit, and shifts get a little quicker. But for the real Lamborghini experience, you pop it into Corsa, you put the throttle down, and you feel the whole car violently lurch with each rapid gear shift. It's an experience unto itself, and that's how I prefer to drive the car. One thing that has happened in the 50 years since Lamborghini's been around is that they've become owned by Audi and Volkswagen, and you can see that, and it makes a huge difference, and we're very happy for it. The nav screen looks good and works. This whole MMI system has been lifted from an Audi, and it's wonderful because you know it's gonna work, it's gonna do well, and we like to look at it, and it's better than having probably a Lamborghini design system that might be nice to look at, but might take Sundays off. You don't know what's gonna happen there. So we're very happy that Audi and Lamborghini have come together to do good things. At over $400,000, who buys this car? Well, people with a net worth a lot higher than myself, but what they're getting is an amazing machine. It's wild, it's brash, it's in your face, it's aggressive, it's everything that you want from a Lamborghini supercar. And I think there's no better way to celebrate than by driving an Aventador on the 50th anniversary of an amazing company.